All right, so thank you for making it here. I'm creating this video. It is titled How to Create a Drip Email Campaign for Your Dealership in 2020. So this is relevant information, by the way. A lot of you guys, and one of the reasons why I made this is a lot of you guys don't take this serious, the follow-up, and it's really hurting you. Like it really destroys your business. I want you to think about it. A lot of you guys got these little itty bitty pipelines. You got to have just a massive pipe, right? And then there's a lot of you guys that got this massive pipeline, but ain't no sales coming from it. There's no sales coming from it. And the reason why is because you're not following up with them. You're not following up with your pipe in an effective way. So they're just bleeding out. They're going cold and they're just bleeding out. And you're not getting anything from it. So I created this presentation. Here's a visual on me if you just needed one. I got it in here. I created this video, how to create a drip email campaign for your dealership in 2020 for various reasons. And we're going to go into some of the goals. And by the time you get done with this video, I want you to have a complete understanding about certain things. So let's just kind of go into the next slide. So what we're going to cover today, what I want you to take from this so that you're not wasting your time. Okay. I want you to focus on this. Have a complete understanding of what this is. Have a complete understanding of what this is. So what is a drip email campaign? What is the follow-up campaign? Why is it important? Okay. You got to have a complete understanding. Now we're not going to go into tactical actions, because I don't want to make this a 3-4 hour long video. However, I'm pretty sure you guys have a marketing team. I'm pretty sure you guys can have the leverage to get a hold of somebody that can do the tactical for you. But you got to understand the strategy. Okay? You got to understand the strategy. So when you're going to war, the president of the United States, he has a strategy. And then he passes it down to his generals. The generals passes it down the line. And then you have your foot soldiers that go out and actually do the tactical work. Okay, you don't have to know you don't have to know how to aim down your sights and shoot a target from 50 meters out to get a specific goal reached. You just got to know the strategy. You got to know where you're going. A lot of you guys, you really just don't know where you're going. Okay, you hire people on, and you may have a drip email strategy or whatnot, or your marketer may have that in place, but you're not yielding any results because you guys are randomly doing things. Okay. So you don't have a strategy that you give over to your marketing team. Your marketing team doesn't have a strategy that they give over to you. So you can go, okay, we're going to do this, and that. You could not sit down. If you cannot sit down and write this out, what this is inside of your business, there's a problem. You got people randomly, if people are randomly just doing things, you're never really going to get to where you need to be. Okay. So I want you to have a complete understanding of what this is. I want you to be able to have a complete understanding to such that you can actually create or manage a strategy. So if your marketing team says, hey, we're going to do a drip email campaign, you can say, okay, what's the strategy, right? You can tweak one or two things, right? I like it. Let's go with it. And then I want you to understand how this is going to increase your book of business. Okay. Let me give you a good example. I'm going to go straight into the stats. Okay. And this is the end market stats. So let's just say, for an example, you have over, 1,000 people that are going to be in the market in 30 days to buy a car from, someone from you or your competitors. Okay. They're in the market. 10% of people, as a matter of fact, I'll take that back. Not even 10%. Let me just scratch that out. 5% of people will buy within the next 72 hours. So if they're in the market right now, 5% of those people are going to buy right now. Let me get you some information on that. Let me get you some data to support what I'm talking about, because this isn't just me pulling this out of my butt. So listen, this is a lead generation campaign that I ran for a dealership. We used Facebook solely. We generated 537 leads. Out of the 500 leads, we generated 12 sales right off the bat. I'm talking about, this is the first phone call, first appointment, and then they sold a car from it. So you're talking about, out of 500 leads, 12 deals immediately. That's like 3-4%. 3-4%, somewhere around there. So 5% of the people are going to buy within 72 hours. Let's just put it that way. 20% of the people, they're never going to buy. No matter what you do, they're not going to buy. For whatever reason, they're just going to pour themselves out and they're just not going to buy. And when that happens, you have your remainder. Okay, so 75% of the people are going to buy within 6 months. This is where your long-term follow-up comes in place. You have to build a relationship with them. You got to introduce your brand to them in such a way that when it's time for them, they're going to remember you. Here's the problem. The 5% that are going to buy right now are being bombarded with your competition. This is Google PPC ads. When someone goes on Google, hey, used car dealership in my area, right? Everybody's fighting for that place. Everybody's fighting for that 5%. You know, people are paying $15, $20, $30 just for a click, not a conversion, a click over to their website. This is where it gets this is where it gets very expensive, very expensive. 75%, your long-term follow-up, here's the key. Your competition, they completely forget about them. They don't even focus in on them. Like they don't focus in on them. So if you could just stay within the 75%, this is where most of your buyers are, by the way, at 75%. This is where the mass majority of the deals are coming from. But if you can just stay in tune with some long-term follow-up and you do it the right way, you now begin to you hold more gross on your deals, and your deals are a lot more faster, quicker, and efficient. Here's the reason why. When you're looking for the 5% that are ready to buy right now, which I don't recommend you not focusing on them. You still have to focus on that 5%. You still have to put your money towards it. You still have to put your efforts towards that 5% because they're getting ready to buy. You got to get market share. But when you're doing that, you're getting a lot of shoppers. You're getting a lot of people coming into your dealership or talking to you over the phone saying, hey, this dealership over here has the same identical vehicle with the same identical miles, and they're $1,500 cheaper than you. Now you're having to fight this. Now you're getting into a price war. When you're following up with this 5% of people, you got to understand, people don't get into the market because they want to price shop. People start to look for vehicles because they have a problem that they want to solve, right? Rather, hey, their kids going off to college, so they need an extra vehicle. The vehicle's breaking down. They're in and out of the service department. Just put $3,000 here to transmission. Now they're starting to think, hey, is this going to be cost efficient, right? Is this going to be the right thing? Should I continue to move forward with this, right? When you follow up with people, okay, you're not getting shoppers in your store. When they do decide to set an appointment, you are following up with these people and you're touching them on a base of, hey, I'm trying to solve your problem here. I'm giving you advice to solve your problem. So when they enter into your dealership, they're not shopping. So you're holding gross on your deals. Your deals are a lot easier. They're a lot smoother because they're saying, hey, listen, you have this problem, right? This is going to work for that problem. And because they haven't had time to shop, because you always stayed in front of them, and they just reached out to you because they had a problem and they wanted to see if you could solve it, you're now selling, now having a consultative sales process as opposed to a price war sales process, right? And you always want that consultative sales process. So enough about that. First things first, this is how you're going to organize, you need to organize your email communication. And anybody that's in the email marketing space, we call this segmentating your list. Okay, so I'm gonna just go over some of the examples real quick so you have an understanding as to what I mean, so you can start to segment and start to organize your list, because not every single person is the same. You gotta understand that not every single person is going to receive the same type of email, or we're not going to use the same type of templates. So new leads, these are websites or real-time leads. This is people that are, let's just say your new car dealership, they're on Chevrolet.com, or your used car dealership and they're on TrueCar.com, and they find your vehicle and they say, hey, is the vehicle still available? You need to attack them with speed. You need to get to them immediately, okay? So the way of you approaching them, as opposed to approaching a cold lead, someone that's just non-responsive or just stop responding to you, it's going to be totally different. Those emails are going to be totally different. Just as dead leads, because they've not responded to you for so long, let's just say it's 365 days or something like that, or just said, hey, we're holding off until, the summertime and it's the middle of the winter time, right? The way you approach that dead lead is going to be different than the way you approach a new lead, okay? And then you got your customer leads. These are someone that just recently bought from you, let's just say in the last week. today, yesterday, right? The way you follow up with them, you're going to set up for repeat business. They might not buy a car until, 3 years from now. Who knows? They might not buy another car for 2 years. They may set you up with a referral. When they go home, someone goes, hey, where did you buy that car? They say, oh, I went to here. And then that person catches the new car bug, or, hey, the new vehicle bug. And now they want to look for a car, right? You want to set up a certain amount of, you want to set up this email sequence a lot different than what you would set up for, new leads, cold leads, dead leads, whatever. Okay. You're setting up for referrals and repeat business. And then you got your in sales funnel. We can, I can create a whole separate video about this, but this is just kind of like your foot traffic. Someone that lands on your dealership, right? And you take them all the way through demo, or you write them up or whatever. And for some reason they don't buy right then and there, right? So now you're following up with an email. They're inside of your sales process. Okay. So you gotta organize your leads. You can't send the same email to each and every lead. It's not going to work. So if you can understand that, then you can kind of get an understanding of what type of templates should I be sending out. So just make sure you're organizing your leads. That's step number one. Okay. Step number two, we're going to go into drip email types. This is the intent. Okay. These are the templates. So we got prospecting. Prospecting is just going out and, this could be, let me give you a good example. Prospecting is buying a list of vehicles that are, let's just say it's a 2012 with 140,000 miles. You have data, right? Or let's just say it's a service customer who had a vehicle for 3 years. Okay. The email that you send out to them, your intent is to turn them into an appointment, turn them into a deal, get them excited, right? Kind of touch them and see if they're looking for a vehicle. Okay. Pursuit, which I like to call nurturing. This is where you're building your engagement. This is where you're building your relationship. You're sending out a sequence of emails this is going to be your follow-up, okay? You're getting people accustomed to your brand, what you do, what you stand for, right? You're wanting to get people engaging back with you inside of these emails. So you're looking for engagement and you're looking to build a relationship with these people. This is really how you follow up. This is nurturing your leads. This is what you really want to focus on. So if you have a small little pipeline, this ain't going to work. But if you have this massive pipeline and you begin to nurture and build a relationship, listen, let me point something out to you before you go into that. Okay. It is not about how big your list is. It's more so about how much, building a relationship with a list. So it's a list without a relationship really isn't nothing. But if you can have a list and these people are engaging with you and you build a relationship with them, they're going to come back to you when it's time. So nurturing does just that. You're building a relationship and you're getting engagement from them. And you got your recent customer email type. This is, just purchase you. So you have a specific template that goes out that caters just around recent customer. Then you got your renewals. These are leases, equity position, just in time to just time to change, right? They had their vehicle for 5 years, 150,000 miles. It's dying out on them. It's time to change out. Okay. And then you got your referral type email. And this is kind of your intent is, hey, I want to help out your friends. I want to help your family members. And then you got your re-engagement. This is really your cold and dead leads. You're re-engaging these cold and these dead leads over here. That's what you're doing with the re-engagement intent type templates that you're going to have. Okay? Now, I'm going to go into the next slide here. And this is understanding the context. If you can understand this, this is kind of going to give you an understanding of how to create your templates in many ways. Okay. So you got the number one, you got the not in the market and they never heard of you. Okay. They're not in the market and they never heard of you. This is more of your dead or your cold leads. They just stop responding to you. Okay. The way you approach this person, the way you talk to these type of people are going to be different than the way you talk to the people that are in the market and never heard of you. The people that are in the market and never heard of you are probably a lead that you have purchased, right? They're probably like they're on someone else's platform and they submitted off a lead that indicated that they're in the market for a vehicle. They've never heard of your brand, but you got a hold of that lead and they're not really sure why you're contacting them, okay? And then you got your in the market, they heard of you and they've been assaulted by the competition. They've been bombarded. I can't tell you how many. There's a dealership that I know, and there's actually multiple dealerships that I know that do this, right? They have a 3-2-1 process. They, number one, they call 3 times, they send 2 emails, and they send 1 text. They call 3 times, send 2 emails, 1 text. That's just from 1 dealership. Imagine if there's 6, 7, 8 other dealerships that are doing the same thing to that person. They're being completely assaulted, right? So this prematurely just kind of like they end communication with anybody. They don't even want to be communicated. They don't want to know. They don't want anybody knowing that they're in the market because why? They don't want to be assaulted. They don't want you bombarding them with emails and stuff like that. So the way you send out, the way you talk to this type of person is going to be totally different than the way you to someone that's in the market and never heard of you. But we're going to really focus on, and this is going to be a mass majority of your leads are, they were in the market. This is your 75%, by the way. They were in the market. They never heard of you, and they were assaulted by the competition. So this is what you need to start building your relationship with. This is the 75% of your lead, right? They're in the market. They, for whatever reason, decided to hold off. They didn't do anything right then and there, okay? They're going to do something. They're going to do something. They're just not going to do something right now. These are the people you start building a relationship with. The way you communicate with this type of buyer is going to be different than the way you communicate with number 1, 2, and 3. Number 4 is going to be really the mass majority of all your people. The number 2 and number 3, these are that 5%. Like they're in the market right now, they're getting ready to buy within 72 hours. Number 4 is, hey, we was in the market, we decided to hold off. Right, we're just gathering information. We're in our research phase. We just started. They're going to buy, but the way you approach them is totally different. The way you approach them is totally different. So now I want to kind of transition over to the next slide that I have here, and this is going more tactical. I know I said I wasn't going to go too tactical, but I want to kind of give you some tactical insight in this. So whenever I'm sending out emails, okay, they're typically in a series of 3. Number 1, they're going to be, whenever I'm starting out, they're going to be welcome emails. And they're going to be put in such a format that, and this is highly important, that it builds that relationship. So I'm sending out a series of emails that builds a relationship. And it's also activating some type of engagement from that person, from that lead, from that prospect. And if they don't respond, in most cases they respond, and then now you start to communicate with them and set up appointments or send over quotes or whatever the case may be. But if they ever go dry, if they ever go cold or they don't respond to those 3 emails, I want to transition them into my nurture phase. I want to transition them into nurture phase because the 75% are those people that get transitioned into the nurture phase. This is where our competition just leaves them hanging, right? They hit them a couple times, they don't answer, they go cold, they forget about them. Or they hit them a couple times and say, hey, this is still a good lead. They may buy it in the next 3 or 6 months, right? And then they say, we're just going to follow up with them. But the way they follow up with them is totally wrong. The way they follow with them is so intrusive. It's so negative that, the prospect literally they block any type of communication that comes from them. You want to do that, okay? The way you nurture with these people are not in such a format of, you call them in 15 days. Hey, are you in the market for a car? No, great. Hey, you follow up with them in 20 days. Hey, are you in the market for a car? That's not building a relationship. That's not building a relationship. In fact, that's kind of like, that's a one-way street. That's not setting up any type of engagement. More so it's setting up, I want to block you. You're actually annoying me. Right? I'm looking for information. I'm not buying anything right now, but you continue you ask me, hey, what am I buying something? Am I buying something? You don't want to approach them. You don't want to approach and nurture email campaigns in that format. You don't want to do it that way. Okay, when you want to nurture, you want to build a relationship. You want to get them to engage with you. You want them to kind of get to know you, like, trust you, so that when they say, we get into that 2-hour phase, they're ready to do something, the only person they remember is you, your dealership. So that's kind of how you approach it. And like I said, this is very quick. It's very simple. I didn't want to spend too much time going over this, but I wanted to kind of give you some information so you can understand it, so you can create a strategy. I didn't want to go too tactical into this. So, but real quick, I do have testimonials that I want to show you. Like in my previous class, I did kind of show you this briefly, but we created 537 leads. 12 people bought right then and there. Everything is 100% trackable, by the way. That generated them $12,000 in sales initially in 7 hours. But now, like I said, 20% of the people are never going to buy. But now they have 350 people in their pipeline that they're putting in their nurture phase, where they're building a relationship with. Those people are going to buy. You got 300 people that are going to buy, okay, within the next months. 300 people that your competition, they're not following up with. That is why this is important. You're building your pipeline. You're expanding the pipeline, and then you're building a relationship with that list. So if you want, and this is my call to action, if you can say, if you want me to send over templates, if you want to have access to my templates that I use for my dealerships, please contact me. My email address is ricky@weknowdealerads.com. That's RSEKY at weknowdealerads.com. You can also reach me by text, or you can call me. Cell phone number is area code 313-575-6592. I'm always readily available. If you have any questions on any of this, you can always get a hold of me. Again, this is how to create a drip email campaign for dealership in 2020. Hopefully you got an understanding of how this works, what it really is, and how this can start to build, your book of business. So now in year one, let's just say you're doing $2-3 million. And year two, because you're expanding your pipeline and you're building a relationship, you're now getting this snowball effect to where now year two, you just added 30% to your bottom line, because you've just been you just consistently building these relationships. Now they're just falling out of the pipeline. They're just falling out of your pipe, right? And they're buying cars from you. So hopefully you understand that. Again, if you have any questions, please get a hold of me. I'll be more than happy to help you out in any way I can. I do have templates that I'll get over to you, but you got to request them from me. If this is on YouTube, which I think it is, I'm on this up on YouTube, I want you to drop in the comments. If you want my email template, drop in the comments email template. And what I'll do is I'll get the email template sent over to you. So again, this is how to create a drip email campaign for your dealership in 2020. Relevant, right? Very, very relevant. And drop in the comments. I want you to drop in the comments if you want my email templates for your dealership. They're just really available. You just set them up and just boom, they start firing out. Just drop in the comments. So hopefully that helped for you. Not help for you. Sorry. Hopefully that helped you out a lot. And I'll be looking forward. Look forward to my next videos. I'm gonna be creating them pretty frequently. And they're just here to help you guys out. And yeah, that's it. Take care.